Hey everyone, my name is Juliana Ramirez. Wanted to quickly walk you through this deck and just go a little bit more into detail about my experience post graduation before we opened it up to the group for the larger discussion. So, a bit about me, I attended the City College of New York, graduated in spring 2013. While I was there, I was part of some volunteering clubs, but beyond that, I mostly focused on school and work. I majored in English with a concentration in creative writing and a minor in psychology, and I currently work as an account executive at BBH USA. So, my journey into advertising is a bit of a unique process in that I did not have a journey that was linear. I actually went to South Korea for 2 years after I graduated college. While I was there, realized that I really wanted to go into advertising marketing. So upon returning, I joined another program called Co-op, where I learned about digital marketing and gained experience in that field. And I was very lucky enough to learn about ad fellows while I was in that program. And that really um, was what gave me the break in this industry and why I continue to be in this industry even today. Some of my past experience includes working at agencies such as McCann New York, BCW, and January. Mentioned earlier, I currently work at BBH USA as an account executive. So, why account management? For me, I ultimately chose account management because I am the voice of the client. I get to have an overarching view of the agency and workflows across disciplines, and there's a lot of room for growth in this field. My favorite way of thinking about account management is sort of like being the quarterback of the team, not the one working directly creating creative or doing the strategy or coming up with timelines, but I do have a view into all those fields, and it allows me to have a lot of a better understanding of the accounts and the reasoning as to why we do things. So key skills and experience, I would say, are my background in psychology. That has helped me with the more analytical aspect of my job, as well as allowing me to understand the ideas that my team produces for our client. Day in a life, it could vary from one day to the next. But typically, a lot of my interactions are with clients or agency partners. Spend a lot of time QAing any work that needs to be routed to clients for review or approval. And of course, I'm always keeping track of timelines and budget for talent. Super, super important. I'm also adding input to briefs or creative reviews to ensure that we stay true to the brand and the brand guidelines. So, what makes account management interesting for me, I would say, is the ability to work with so many partners. The ones that I listed here are some of the partners that I was able to work with in the last year. So, partners like Spotify, MyCode, Today Show, Stream Elements, Dodo, and many more. This year, I'm working with partners like Genius, for example, or Well and Good. So a lot of great opportunities within this field that make my day pretty interesting. So some of the skills that I learned in college versus on the job, I would say my background in English was surprisingly a great fit for account management because a lot of what I do is communicate with my clients or partners. So you need to really be able to speak to them, as well as be able to write emails and things of that nature. Some stuff that I've learned on the job, I would say, uh, goes back to budgets and managing budgets or working with talent. So that's stuff that I did not learn in college, but rather I learned on the job. And I would say that I've become a lot more comfortable with it as time has gone by. I'm able to speak to it with clients and partners because of the training that I've gotten at work. In terms of my long-term plans, although I do enjoy account management, I don't see myself working agency side forever. The perfect role would actually be one that is both analytical and creative, such as a creative strategist, for example. And I'm also thinking about grad school to help propel me to this path. But those are just some of my long-term career hub for Publicis Group in case you're interested in any opportunities.
For a while, I've been trying to find an internship for copywriting, and I do have a portfolio, but um, I do have a portfolio, but I think the problem is maybe it's too specific that I'm looking for copywriting. Like, would you suggest I have to like broaden my search of an internship? Like, it shouldn't be so specific and just like about copywriting, because I would like to work in advertising.
No, I think you're on the right track. Definitely an important part of, you know, going for roles like copywriting or even art direction, you do need a portfolio. I
Mm-hmm.
would just say continue to look for those internships. That's the best way in. It is a little bit hard to break into that industry just because it takes a lot of experience and in some cases just like luck. But I would say as long as you have, you know, a portfolio that's in good shape, you should be able to land an internship. It's a lot more work, unfortunately, versus like, you know, account management or strategy or project management. It takes a little bit more work. But your strategy is correct. I would continue to apply to internships.
Um, so would you say like reaching out to art directors, like would you say that's
That
does
would be
anything? Because
helpful.
I've done that and it doesn't really lead anywhere. Like it's kind of pointless at this point, even though I know I shouldn't say that, but it hasn't been leading me anywhere. And I kind of had to stop at some point because it was kind of starting to irritate me actually, and I just kept looking through internships.
Yeah. Are you a senior right now, or what level are you at currently?
I'm a student at New York City College of Technology, and I'm enrolled for associate's program.
Yeah, I would say the internship is the best way to go. If possible, try to find anyone that, you know, has been to your school as an alumni or anyone that could have a connection to an ad agency that would know of any internships that they can pass your way. But definitely would say internships are the way to go. Um, if possible, even connect with any junior copywriters that are able to, if possible, even look at your portfolio and just help you, give you any tips or tricks or any feedback that might be helpful and actionable for you to use it when you're applying to internships. And I know it's not like, you know, the easiest thing in the world, but networking also goes a long way in this industry.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Um, I can step in as well quickly for
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Hey everybody, my name is Adil Paul. I'm actually a recruiter at Dentsu, which is a marketing agency, and I've worked previously as a marketer in two different agencies, WPP as well as IPG. So I, in terms of like internships, I can combine Leslie's question and try to follow up. So when you're trying to step a foot into a marketing agency, the most important piece for any job, I would say, is networking. When you go into any marketing agency's website, there's, if you go into their career framework or career portion of the piece, a page, I should say, there is join our talent community button or subscribe to our newsletters. I would highly encourage you guys to join those networks. What it does is that recruiters start getting your information, and then once you sign up, they start sending you out events, sessions. These are gonna definitely help you stand out. Um, and in terms of like types of internships, I would say have an open mind a lot of people that I meet or interview or screen, they want to go straight into paid social. Trust me, there's more than just Facebook and Instagram. There is media buying. Like, just to give you a big example, I'm pretty sure you guys watch Super Bowl. So the placements of ads before and after the actual sporting event, that's one of them. Then paid search, you actually bid on keywords for that. And that's very interesting. When you type, let's say something like toothpaste on Amazon, right? If you see the sponsored items, that's a paid search thing. And there's a real life bidding war happening between the brands on the back end. So you actually control that. Then there's data analytics, which is very high in demand right now. So go in, network, and definitely you'll be able to get in the opportunity. So yeah, happy to answer any other questions too.
I'm Natalie. I recently graduated from Queens College. So I just had two questions. So my first question would be, for data analytics, it kind of goes two and two, so don't worry. For data analytics, I graduated with a bachelor's in theater and drama, but my focus was stage management. So I'm doing a lot of management. I would like to go into data analytics, but I would have needed a bachelor's in science. Is there any way like I can go about that in my resume of saying like I am good at like looking at data, and my minor was in business, so like is there any way that on my resume like I can show you that I could really step up? And can I get a paid internship? As I graduated, I would like to make money instead of a free internship. Like, is there any way that I could negotiate with them?
Sure. So your question is, how do you frame your resume for something like analytics? I would say honestly, best tip that I've learned is just look at the job description. Make sure when you're looking at the qualifications or the skills that they require, that you're connecting that back to your resume. You know, it is a little bit of work, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm reviewing it, if I'm an interviewer and I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, like she doesn't have, the most technical background, but it's transferable skills. And I would be more than happy to, hear your take on, why you think you're good for the job. So more than often, job description and connecting the dots between what's there and your resume is the best way to go.
I can definitely throw a gem here for all of you. There's a free apprenticeship for CUNY students. It's called Co-op. Look into it. I'm throwing down the link. It's literally, I was a part of it. Now I teach data analytics there. So look into it. Their fall applications are opening up. Usually they require students who graduate, and then it's a 4-week boot camp from 6:30 to 9:30. They teach you data analytics, basics, Tableau, SQL, Python, and that's gonna make you stand apart from a normal grad. And another one of their tracks is digital marketing, and they will teach you paid social, paid search, programmatic, and those are all marketing fields. And Co-op is connected to a lot of CUNY colleges. One thing I would say for data analytics, if you want to stand out, the simplest form would be to show more on your Excel skills. How many rows and columns of data have you handled? Show them data management skills, VLOOKUPs, pivot tables. Instead of having those placeholders in your resume, try to explain more in your bullet points. Utilize those applications and try to connect the metrics with those applications, and it's going to help you stand out for sure.
Thank you.
Any other student questions currently?
While we have a quick pause.
I'm sorry.
No, I'll let you go in just a second. I also want to plug CUNY Upskilling as a resource to CUNY students and alumni for, I think, pretty sure there's a data management track there as well. Go ahead, whoever had a question.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I just entered the group a little late, but I just wanted to know, I know for a lot of PR positions, they want experience with a PR agency, and that's a little hard to get straight out of, straight after you graduate. And so I just wanted to know if anybody knows just how to go about that when it talks about, again, like experience with a PR agency, or how to gain that experience with a PR agency.
So you're saying when you apply to roles, they're asking specifically for experience in the PR agency, correct?
Yes, like even entry level positions, they want like 3 to 5 years experience with an agency.
Yeah, I would try and go for internships if you're specifically looking for entry into a PR agency that's asking for experience. That's the easiest way to kind of bypass that, but also just try and look for jobs that don't require that. If you feel like you're, ready to jump in and don't need to be in an internship, then, go for it. Just make sure that you are making sure that your resume is aligning to whatever the job description is asking for, that you're showing off all the things that you've done in college, any past experience or internships or any projects that you've worked on that involve PR.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Just to also add up on that, when you apply to a role, look into the job title as well. That's very important. A Facebook associate would require 2 to 3 years of experience as compared to a smaller agency. So sometimes it's also important to look into a smaller agency, get your experience there. Work there for a year, 2 year, and automatically the recruiters from these big companies, if you have a good standing with one company for at least 2 years, they're automatically gonna come and pick you up. Within my experience, I could tell you that I used to work in an agency that was catering the Meta project when Meta was hiring like crazy when it came to like technical recruiters, right? 2 years of technical recruiters, and they were paying them top dollars, and they were just picking them up. They were just poaching them from these smaller agencies, and it was like it was a battlefield. Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Twitter, you name them, and every company was trying to like outsmart, outbid each other with a candidate. So once you have that standing with any company for 2 years, trust me, you're gonna be what we like to call in our market a mint candidate. Like you can demand a salary within the limit, of course, and you will more than likely get it.
Thank you so much.
Also referrals. I don't think we've touched upon that, but referrals, if you know any alumni or anyone that works in any of these agencies that, you're interested in, reach out to them. More often than not, they'll be happy to give you the referral because there's an incentive for them. But also sometimes they're just genuinely nice people that are happy to help you because maybe they've been in that spot before. So reach out to your network, or if you don't have them in your network, friend them on LinkedIn and ask for those referrals, have those coffee chats to get to know them. And that's a big help in getting, a foot in the door as well.
Thank you.
I can jump in quickly too. I feel like I can speak for the students in there because I'm like a recent graduate as well, where the biggest thing and what scares us is getting employment after school. And internships, that's something we should strive for, but it may not be something that is, I guess, something that is available to all of us. So is there anything outside of internships that students can do, whether it's obtain certifications? I know Juliana touched on like different organizations that she was a part of outside of campus. Is there anything that students can do outside of internships to kind of like prove that they're ready for a position in this field? Yeah.
Definitely. Google, I forgot the word, but there's like Google certifications, there's like Bing certifications, free of charge. Do it at your own time. LinkedIn also offers some certifications as well. Adobe offers one, HubSpot. So all of these companies, more than likely or not, they will offer you free marketing certifications that can also help you stand out. Most of the internships, I know someone asked me this question. asked us this question previously. Most of the internships in today's market, again, will be paid just because companies want to land candidates that are like creative, stand out, willing to learn, and add into the culture, not become the culture, but add into the culture. So very, very important to be authentic with what you bring to the table, because a lot of companies now have started to like take on that DEI initiatives, and more than likely or not, you are going to add into any company that you go to. I have full faith in every single one of you.
Yeah, I also have one more. If you're interested in any creative roles, there are free programs that exist out there. For example, there's a growth initiative that's a free program if you're interested in roles like PR or creative, like copywriting, art direction, that meets nightly. I can share that as well. Droga 5, which is an agency. They also do this free like night school where I think it's for 4 weeks. They offer classes in copywriting and art direction. There's a bunch of programs that exist that are associated with ad agencies and also not associated with ad agencies that are like tied back to nonprofits. So I can share those in a link here. That's a great way if you're interested in getting additional help to kind of like, it's not going to be paid, unfortunately, but it is extra schooling that if you're interested and invested, it'll help you reach your goal a little bit quicker and faster.
Juliana, if students are doing some sort of marketing activity within a club that they're doing, is that something that they can leverage into internships and roles? And can you talk about how they might do that?
Yes, definitely. I would say if it involves any client experience, for example, or just, experience with doing whatever ties back to that role, I would highlight it. Because that's still transferable skill, and it shows them that even though it's not something that's as attractive as an internship, it's still a real experience that you're able to leverage. It's all about how you speak to it. So just remember, be confident in what you're speaking about, and just shoot for the stars. Don't feel a type of way because it's not tied back to an internship. You can definitely elevate that. It's just in the way you speak about it. So remember, all of these things are transferable, and oftentimes companies are not looking for someone that has 10 years of experience. That's ridiculous, right? So it's all about making sure that you just have enough experience that you're able to say, I can learn quickly and do what you're asking me to do. I'm a quick learner. I can jump into this and follow through with whatever is tasked of me.
Again, just want to open the floor. Encourage you guys to ask any questions you have, whether it's regarding internships or interview processes, whatever it may be.
I'm sorry, guys. I have a question. I graduate this spring, and I just want to know, like, what is the best entry level marketing job you think I should look into? Because I know we're talking about, more programs to go into, but if you wanted to look for a job, what is the best entry level job you'll recommend for like a recent grad?
That's a wonderful question. Now, Tanya, my question to you is, what interests you the most? That depends now. Do you want to be an active voice on Facebook, Instagram? Is that what you're trying to do? Do you want to buy and schedule creatives with bigger brands? So let's say you work with them during Super Bowl ads. Do you want to be a part of that? Do you want to highlight a product on Amazon, Google? Do you want to work on the creative side, like try to come up with copywriting material that is going to help you engage with clients? So first and foremost, before you apply to a job, what you need to ask yourself is where do you see yourself? What do you want to do? And that's going to shape your whole career too, because trust me, transitioning into the career might sound easy, but it's not. I did it. I used to be a paid search manager, and then I came into the recruitment piece. I had to take a salary cut, take a lower position to be where I am. So it's very important to understand where do you see yourself. So let's say when I mentioned Facebook and Instagram, that's paid social. So if you are into paid social, you should look into like getting some certifications on the Facebook side just to stand out. And it's gonna help you. Trust me. Even YouTube is gonna help you. Go into YouTube, be like how to launch a marketing campaign on Facebook or Snapchat, Pinterest. There's so many platforms that students utilize. Companies utilize that you'd be surprised. Back in the day when I was doing paid search, I was working with 10 different platforms, believe it or not, and it helped me just leverage every single thing that I knew about paid search and learn more. So I would definitely say look into the job description if you want to do Facebook and Instagram and go that route. That's paid social. Then look into paid social associates, paid social analyst jobs. Those will definitely help you guide your career.
Thank you.
I actually have a question. And it's just kind of like for clarification because I am a business communications major and specifically for corporate communications. And I kind of just felt like, okay, business communications is definitely my area of interest. But taking that into like the real world, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what I want to say like what direction to go into because communications is kind of broad and essentially I've just been having trouble trying to find like where exactly I would fit. I know you had said even with how she was talking about marketing, kind of figuring out what it is that you want to do. And I know that I'm a big speaker, a great speaker, I would say, and I do want to spend a lot of my career speaking, or if it's for a company, or if it's like writing. Honestly, like it's because it's so broad, it's just kind of hard for me personally to kind of narrow or pinpoint exactly what it is I want to do. So I just wanted to know if anybody had any clarification when it comes to communications, like what position titles there are, or like just what different genres in communication, what they are, just so I can try to make more sense of what it is that I'm trying to do.
Are you interested more in the PR aspect of communication?
I believe so. I'm doing more research. I kind of found like, okay, PR, I would like to get into PR, and I think that more so fits what I'm trying to do. Like I know like things like perfect, because on my resume I'll have things said like, oh, I want to help like perfect or create a brand's image, just things like that, having to deal with like their audience or the public and a company. And so those things kind of interest me, but again, it's kind of just a little confusing for me too.
Yeah, I feel like it might be tied to, if we're thinking disciplines, maybe PR, if you're interested in like communications and like helping a brand understand the do's and don'ts. Trying to think if it falls out into any other disciplines, but I'm thinking probably PR. But again, it goes back to you and like your interests and kind of understanding what is the perfect role for you. And that can be a little bit hard at this stage as well, because you might be interested in so many different things that it's kind of hard to piece together where exactly you fit in. But if you're able to do any programs where you're able to explore that a little bit more, I definitely recommend that. That was me. I knew I wanted to get into the industry, but I wasn't exactly sure where I fit in, and just knew, right? I know PR, I know, experiential, but what exactly does all of this mean? Where do I fit in? So programs like that do help kind of like clear that confusion. But again, it is more work. And it's not an immediate like role in the industry. It's just more of a learning experience that, get that foot in the door and understand what you want to make out of it.
Right, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Adil, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
I definitely was gonna mention PR and experiential. Another thing that it just hit me because I'm doing that now. It's partnerships. Partnerships is a big piece. You'd be surprised how much it tests you, because not only you're participating in the events. But not only are you participating in the events, you're also organizing them, and you get to connect with a bunch of people. And I'm pretty sure a part of what Nicola right now is doing, that's partnerships. She's trying to hit up other people, alumni from different companies, trying to bring them on board so we can become a resource to you. That is partnerships piece. I like to talk. I'm pretty sure Juliana does the same. And if you're good with your words, partnerships is another thing that you can look into. And trust me, all three of these careers, with 5 years of experience, trust me, you're gonna be making a decent amount of not just compensation, but connections too, like high end connections, I should say.
Thank
Talked
you
about
so much.
networking. Oh, sorry. Go.
I'm sorry, I just want to say thank you.
Of course. The reason I was able to reach out to Juliana, I said in the main thing that I found most of the speakers through LinkedIn, but Juliana is someone I worked with actually before a career change for me. So several jobs ago, we were involved in a program at the same time that she was a participant in, and I was working on really in an admin capacity. But I made connections while I was there, and now I'm able to bring her into this. So you never know who you're going to meet, and who add everyone on LinkedIn. Try to remember their names.
Yes, LinkedIn is a really great place to just connect and keep up with people, especially like if you realize right now I'm working in PR, but I actually want to work in data and analytics. And I remember Deal said he works in data and analytics. Let me reach out to him and see if there's any jobs at his agency, right? It's always good to connect with people just because you never know, right? So definitely encourage that. I know it's a little bit scary to, go outside your comfort zone and use things like that, but definitely encourage that.
So it sounds like networking is a big component of this particular industry. So what advice do you give to students who, I guess, are intimidated by the idea of networking, or like some advice to go about networking? I know you guys mentioned like reaching out to people on LinkedIn. So just kind of like putting that into perspective.
Believe it or not, the job I am in right now, I got through networking. Someone had liked a post of now, who's my colleague now. She posted about a job. Someone in my connection liked the post, and I ended up reaching out to her directly. Networking. And I put it in the chat too. 70% of people get jobs through networking. It is intimidating to reach out to someone who has 5 years of experience and you're just starting out. We are all human. Trust me. We start to compare. We start to like calculate, oh, what if they don't reach back out to us? What's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen. If they don't reach out to us, their fault, because they're missing out on a top candidate, right? So what do? You reach out to more people. If you reach out to 100, you can get connected to 10. If you get connected to 10, maybe 5 of them may have an opportunity in the company. 3 of them end up getting you at that interview. You get at least 2 offers out of that. So try to work on how you're going to reach out. Go into someone's profile, see if something matches of interest. If you're into sports, they're into sports. Maybe there's Super Bowl around the corner. Hit them up. See what, and try to find out what their team is. Personalize the communication. And that's the most essential piece. Humanizing the communication in a corporate world is a very tough attribute that takes a long time. But if you start practicing it now, personalizing it, trying to reach out to people, as many people as you can, you will start to make more connections. I started with 5. Now I'm around 2,000. What I do, I literally just reach out. Now in my recruiting component, I reach out to more people than before. But the idea is just go at it. If you're trying to find an entry-level role, forget Facebook, forget Instagram, have those as secondary means. Make LinkedIn your the first most social network that you're gonna go into, because the more people you're gonna get connected to, the better it is for you. and you're going to find tons of great people.
Yeah, that's a really great piece of advice. Just, connect with them on a human to human level. If, you notice, hey, you did in undergrad, you did psychology, I'm doing psychology, it's a match, bring it up. Or you notice that you both did study abroad in London or whatever, coincidental thing matches between the two of you, that's already a great way to open up that sentence to say, hey, we did the similar thing. I want to have a coffee chat with you. Do you have any, do you have 10 minutes in your day to speak to me about, what you do at your job or your industry? The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And also, if you reach out to 100 people, maybe 95 of them don't get back to you, but you might hear back from 5, and that's still a good thing. It's better than 0. But, definitely force yourself out of that habit. Try to find, connections with people. The more you do it, the more it becomes easier.
And if you're thinking it sounds like that'll take a lot of time, it will. But as Adil said, if you are opening LinkedIn when you're on the subway and sending a couple messages, you can that incremental time can add up.
So there was a question in the chat by Christian. He said, how do you go about networking with classmates? He said it can be difficult for people who go to commuter schools like uni students. So do you guys have any advice or any experience with that particular thing? My personal advice to that, I guess I can have my little 2 cents, would be each CUNY school does have different organizations that you can go on their webpage. So whether it's an organization, I'm trying to think, like there may be a specific organization for marketing students, there may be a specific organization, let's say, you're Puerto Rican or whatever it may be. There's different type of organizations that you can tap into, and you can just go about networking with a number of different people. I don't know if you guys have any advice for that as well.
Take it out. A lot of times you share your Instagram with one another or your Snapchat. Do the same thing with LinkedIn. Hey, can I follow you on LinkedIn? Do you have a LinkedIn? So easy. Just make it conversational. I've been in events where people literally come up to me. They're like, hey, can I get your LinkedIn handle? I'm like, yeah, sure. Not a problem. So just, it might be weird at first, especially if you're still an undergrad. A lot of people don't really use LinkedIn, but I would just, take it out and say, hey, can we connect on LinkedIn? Make it conversational and easy.
Following up on both, actually, I'm from Brooklyn College. Now I'm going to Baruch for my master's in IO, and I'm remote. I'm fully remote for the most of my program. I've been remote, and comparatively to my bachelor's, I've not had that much exposure to people, organizations. So what I did, I started to connect with professors instead, because professors, they know those organizations, and they started to connect me with students in IO psychology at Baruch. PsyOp, we have a specific organization for ourselves, and it allowed me to get connected to my classmates too. So even though I'm remote, I'm still trying to leverage the digital piece and trying to get to know more and more people. I would say go to your career centers, ask them like, what clubs can you join? There's student life organizations too, the one that oversees student government. Go to them, ask them like, hey, like I want to just join this club. It only takes 15-20 minutes, trust me. And then you'll have a bunch of distribution lists that you can go to and ask people and make connections.
Yeah, and I'll just add on that, I guess it necessarily doesn't have to be a case where you join an actual organization, but these organizations always host events, like on a weekly basis, a monthly basis. There may even be networking events through your career services office or whatever it may be. So it's just about trying to locate those events and be able to attend those type of things, because everything helps when it comes to networking.
Oh, that actually brings up a thought that I just remembered. If you are looking for internships, a lot of those for the summer especially happen, I would say, around January, February. By now, we've already sent like offer letters and everything. But if you are interested and you still have a few years in your college career, check back for summer internships. Remember to check back at the beginning of the year. Use LinkedIn. A lot of the companies and agencies, if you're following them on LinkedIn, they'll post when they have their internships that are open. things of that nature. There are also fall internships, but those are a little bit less. But similarly, LinkedIn is a great place to also just like keep track of any internships that are happening.
And I will just add one more thing. So I work for CUNY Career Launch and CUNY Spring Forward, and that's specifically an internship program and is designed to give CUNY students internships who haven't had internships before. And within this internship program, we have specifically the marketing and communications industry hub. Unfortunately, we have already closed the applications, but we do have a spring and a summer program. So like Juliana said, if you're someone who does have more time, and we take seniors who, so let's say, for example, you're graduating this semester and the internship program starts in the summer. Although you graduated this semester, you will still be able to participate in the program. So I will link our website as well, just to keep it in the back of your mind when the next cycle goes around. I guess we're getting ready to end this breakout room. So you guys have, I guess, anything outside of you already said, any last piece of advice to the students in this room when it comes to entering this field or anything in general?
That's a tough one, but I would say don't lose hope. I know sometimes it might feel, and I think someone brought it up earlier in the discussion, just like, you've been applying to places and you haven't heard back, or you're reaching out to people and you haven't heard back. Don't lose out hope. It is also a very difficult time in terms of like, recession, and a lot of places they are, on hiring freezes. So there's also that's kind of like affecting our world at the moment. But just keep applying, keep networking with people, keep searching. Honestly, applying to internships or jobs is kind of like an actual job until you get it. So it does take a lot of work, but think of it, at the end of that, you're going to get a job or an internship, and you're going to be, in a better place than you are currently. So even if it's a lot of work, don't lose hope. I know it's, hard to kind of grasp that sometimes, but you'll get somewhere eventually. It's just, it does take a little bit of effort. So the more effort you put into it, the faster, the quicker the process might be.
For me, I would say one thing that if I was in your shoes and if I would do, and I've been in your shoes, talking from experience, is even though you might be a commuter, try in that last semester of your career, try to navigate yourselves to the career centers. That's very important. Career centers will have something. Trust me, out of the blue, they will find you something that can stick. And that's one piece. Like I always tell people, network. That's the most important advice I will ever give you. And I put that on top because once people know you and they could connect a name to the face, it makes it easier for them to say, oh, I know this person, I know what their interests are, here's a job, let me just quickly send it to them. And as a recruiter, nothing makes me more happier than when a candidate actually comes to me instead of me going out there and trying to search a candidate. So use that LinkedIn search bar, write the company of your choice, recruiter, and you'll find tons of recruiters that are working in that company. And just feel free to reach out. Just take that leap of faith. If they don't respond, it's okay. There are like at least 100 recruiters per company that I could tell you. And it's definitely going to help you out. It's definitely going to turn in your favor. Have patience, be dedicated. My wife is graduating in a month, and she applied to over 50 or 60 jobs, and it's a grueling process. It will exhaust you, but the biggest piece is that you have to persevere, you have to be focused, and always think that in a year from now you're gonna be in a better situation than you currently are, and that will happen.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to both our presenters. Thank you to the students, you guys, for engaging us in conversation. Looks like we're gonna all head back to the breakout room. So yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.